In 1991, George Leonard wrote a book called Mastery. This was George's work on showing the science behind how we learn. And it applies to everything. It applies to violin, it applies to driving a car, it even applies to becoming a better husband or wife through better communication, compassion, empathy, all of the different soft skills that are so important. We tend typically to think that learning is a very linear process, but George's research showed that it in fact wasn't. It looks much more like this. These long periods of plateau, followed by increases in our ability, followed by a little backsliding, new plateau, and so on. I'm Lee Kaufman. I work with the Marriage Recovery Center, and in particular, I work with people who are struggling to take better care of themselves and to integrate new ideas so that they have healthier relationships with their loved ones. I wanted to share a story of an email that I received recently from the wife of a man who I'm working with. She wrote this email 2 or 3 weeks into the work that I'm doing with her husband, and her concern was that since he had started working with me, he was backsliding. He was falling back into some old habit patterns. And while I'm concerned and I'm empathetic with her worry, I want to make sure that she understands the process of learning so that she can be a better support mechanism for her husband. He's 69 years old, which means that he's had 69 years to become the man that he is today, and some would say set in his ways. So for him to integrate new ideas, it's not going to happen over the course of a week or two or a month or two. This is going to be a much longer process for him to integrate healthier and healthier habit patterns so that he can become a better person for himself and ultimately a better husband to her. And if we, as the partners of these people, better understood the process of learning, I think that we would be much more patient and supportive, especially during times when it feels like they were falling back. So 4 key ideas for you to remember. Number 1, learning isn't linear. You saw the chart earlier. Learning is a process of working hard at a level plateau without any particular idea of when the integration and the new advancement is going to take place, but doing it for doing its sake. The second idea is that learning slowly allows us to focus on the process and integrate the nuances that we would otherwise miss if we were trying to speed past things and do it more quickly. Number 3, and this is kind of critical, when we invest our time and our money, we're making a statement that we believe in the process and that we actually want for change. It may not come to us as quickly as we hope, and it definitely may not come as quickly as you, the spouse, hopes. But that statement of putting boots to the ground and doing the work is a very strong thing that we need to pay attention to. And then lastly, the 4th thing, we already talked about this, is backsliding is a natural part of the process. Everyone does it in everything that we're trying to do new and integrate. So as a coach and as a teacher, it's important for me to focus as much on the positives, the things that someone's doing well, as much as I might focus on the negatives. And I encourage you, the partner of these people, to do the same. Try not to get caught up in the small mistakes or missteps that they have, and try to look at the bigger picture and understand that progress is probably still happening. I have a few questions for you. Can you allow your partner their process without micromanaging it? Can you let them have a week or 2 or 3 with their therapist to do the work, to do the journaling, to integrate these new ideas, to try them out and even sometimes fail? Can you do that? Can you remember that their involvement is a statement? Their very involvement, showing up for these calls and doing their homework, is a strong statement that they believe in the process and that they want for the same change that you do. And then lastly, can you encourage and support them even in the times when they're not doing well? Even in the times where they fall down or fall backwards? Because that's the time that it's the most important. They know that they have unconditional love and support to integrate these tools over the time that it'll take, not the time that you think it'll take. At the Marriage Recovery Center, we're incredibly skilled at helping to identify unhealthy patterns and then putting into place programs by which people can unravel them and integrate new and healthier patterns. But all we ask of you, the partner, is that you allow for things to unfold naturally in the time that they take. And I promise you, if you do that, you will be pleasantly surprised.